didn't want to get into an overtime situation where you're up 22, but maybe just speak to how you guys played in that fourth quarter. I mean,
Yeah.
that OT.
Yeah, I mean, we stuck with the game. I mean, we're playing the champs in their building. We know they're going to make a run, especially when Nurk picked up his fifth foul because he was doing such a good job on the Joker matchup, and our whole team was really. But we just had to battle through that stretch. I love the looks we were getting in the fourth. Weren't able to knock him down until KD hit that big one to send it to overtime, and the things we were trying to do in the fourth played out in the overtime, and we took control of the game.
Curious with obviously the Nuggets you were playing with. Okay, you got four, keep him in,
Yeah, he's got to play, and he's
but just maybe take me through the thought process of all that.
yeah, try to get him near the end of the quarter, and get him out a few minutes sooner. Um, but he's got to play the end of the half without fouling, and he's got to play through that stretch without fouling. I mean, he did everything right tonight. Dirk's the star of the game tonight. He was spectacular on both sides of the ball. I took 4 shots, okay, and was our best offensive player. You know what I mean? And that's just a testament to how you can impact the game without scoring. He really dominated the boards, battled the best he could against the Jokic matchup, and really facilitated for us offensively.
And then for Kevin to be struggling from three and then hit that one, that seemed to get him going. Just maybe speak to him showing that resolve that the great ones have.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to lack for confidence. He's always going to be ready for the big moment to take the big shot. And even though things weren't going his way, tough shooting night. Obviously the altitude is different. So we'll look at some ways we can be better in terms of how we manage the game, with guys' legs and whatnot. But for him to make that shot after having a tough shooting night, just shows his greatness.
Periodically through, every regular season you've been around for a while. You remember some of the big wins. Is this one of these points in the season where, if you end up going on a run towards the end of the season that you can point back on tonight and say, hey, this is a big one that we got?
No doubt. Especially after the last 2 games that we felt we should have won, and we didn't play at our best. We knew we needed to respond and play without beating ourselves. Quite frankly, last couple of games we're turning the ball over too much and beating ourselves. And if we just, we're not going to shoot the ball as poorly as we did tonight. We just get a shot on goal every time down, and be more intentional and purposeful with our passing. We're going to outshoot teams most night with the guys that we have on this team. So. A good bounce back win, and yes, I do think in the big picture, we'll look back as this being a huge win.
What changed for you guys in that second quarter when you went on that huge run? Was it just turning up the defense?
Yeah, I mean, turn up the defense, not fouling, okay, playing with pace, and not turning the basketball over. And I think Grayson Allen got red hot during that stretch. We want to shoot a ton of threes. We've got great shooters on this team. So when you do that and you're aggressive behind the arc with great shooting, you got a chance to go on big-time runs like that.
The way you just broke that down is no turnovers, got out and run, didn't foul, and defended. It sounds simple when you say it, but clearly it's not. What do you want to see moving forward to have those kind of stretches? Not necessarily the run number, but play that way with those factors.
It's part of a team's journey, throughout from training camp to the end of the regular season and into the playoffs, learning how to execute in a new system. We're all new to each other as teammates and as a coaching staff, and you just continue to grow, knowing your spots. Continuing on a daily basis to have that growth mindset of putting people in the right spots in terms of executing their spacing, and all the plays. Defensively, you mentioned not fouling, where we can avoid fouling, and just have discipline to force the other team to make difficult shots.
Is it important for you guys? I know this might be an obvious question, but is it important for you guys to stay out of the play?
Yeah, we want the highest seed possible. You know what I mean? If we get in the play-in, we'll be confident. But we definitely want the highest seed possible. We want to try to get in the top 4 if we can. But simple formula, win as many games as you can, and be confident with wherever the seedings lie.
Last thing I had was on Brad and OT. Obviously, the drive was big, but the three, they would just catch and shoot. That's something that he even said before the season. I have to be able to catch and shoot. How big would that be for him, maybe moving forward to know that's a shot he can get?
Yeah, well, it's something we believe in. His shooting ability. He's a great shooter. you know, and with the other guys that we have on the floor, and the way we want to play, you know, our identity of, you know, just creating double teams and then playing through backside blender with great shooting and great playmaking. You know, he's got to be able to, you know, be aggressive with catch and shoot threes and make plays off the bounce. You know, and that's what makes him so dynamic, is he can do both.
They were just one for you guys, you know, especially knowing what the series was last year. These guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's big for us. We lost two in a row, 2 tough games that we thought we had a chance to win, and we know this was probably the toughest environment in the league right now to play in. So we was up for the challenge. We knew this would be a tough one, but everybody dug deep and stuck with the game plan. Coach put up a nice game plan for us, and so we try to keep it at that. I mean, last year is last year. I mean, we know these guys are champs, and we respect them to the highest level, but we're focusing on trying to get off the slide that we were on more than anything.
Are you guys a little different stylistically this year for the playoffs than last year?
Most definitely. I mean, you adding Bradley Beal to the mix, and, you know, Nurk and Grayson Allen. We were a totally different team than last year. And that team got thrown together pretty quick. We had to figure stuff out. You know, we're playing against a well-oiled machine. I think we still put up a fight against them too. So, but we got nothing but respect for this team. They challenge us in ways other teams don't, and it was good to come out there and just fight through everything. Like, we had a tough fourth quarter. We got good looks, but we couldn't even see the ball go in the rim. They made tough shots there with under a minute to go, and we were still able to, get a nice 10-point win. So I just like the dynamics of this game, and I like how we stayed with it, everybody in the locker room, and coaching staff included, and felt good to win this one.
When you get down by 3 after having that tough stretch, are you just thinking, I'm going to take this shot, try to put it in overtime? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to get a good shot up. I knew coming across half court, I was like, this is either do or die right here. I got to make this shot or it might be game. And I had missed, I want to say, 12 straight shots. And so I was grateful that, I stuck with that one. And my fundamentals was right on that shot. I left my hand up and got a good balance on my shot. And, that was the one that was able to tie for us. And then Royce got a great stop on Jokic at the end of the game.
Is tonight kind of the definition of shoot or shoot?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, 14 for 34 from the field. I think at one point I was 9 for 15. And then they had missed 12 straight. And so it was just my teammates stayed with me. Coach kept calling plays for me. My guys trusted in me and was able to, make some shots there in the overtime. But that's just from the support I get from my teammates and my coaches and just staying with it mentally.
And what does that feel like in the overtime when all those shots start going in? What does that feel like?
I mean, it's just a law of averages, man. It's just that's what our game is about, Sometimes, you're going to have some misses, but it always comes back around. They missed some shots early on in that that fourth quarter, wide open looks, and then they came back and hit some big shots in the end of the fourth to put them up and to cut the lead. So, it's that's just the nature of the game. It's ebbs and flows, and, we was able to catch the right flow at the right time and make some shots in overtime.
Kev, you said this is the toughest place to play in the league right now, or certainly up there. How much of that is because of Nikola Jokic? And I know you've given him plenty of praise, but how unique he is.
Yeah, it's just a lot of it is the altitude, and then, of course, you're a 2-time MVP and the champ. He's going to make everything tough for you. But I think they built around him perfectly. When you got long, athletic guys like Aaron Gordon and MPJ and Peyton Watson and Christian Brown, they built around him nice. So obviously he's the head of the snake, but I think can't forget about Jamal Murray, just the big-time shot maker. He could do everything. So, yeah, it's not just him, although he is the face and the head of the snake. But, the great thing about Coach Malone, he makes everybody useful out there, and they make it tough for everybody.
Brad just said that let you be you. He said let's let him be what he is. And I'm just curious when you have teammates like that are saying, hey, look, man, regardless of whether you're missing shots or not, keep being you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every team I played on always supported me in that way and want to see me do well. And Brad's been a great teammate since I've been playing with him. So, and sometimes I look up, I miss 7, 8 shots in a row. I want to get off of it and let everybody else play. But they kept coming to me and trusting in me, and glad I was able to knock some down.
When you get that one shot, obviously, to tie that game before it's overtime, maybe just take me through when you're seeing the ball coming and you're like, okay, this has got to go up.
Yeah.
Hiding and shooting, this has got to go up.
Yeah, Aaron Gore impressed me a bit, and he knew I was going to shoot it, and he pressed me a bit, and I still was able to. I took a couple dribbles to get it loose a little bit, and I felt good leaving my hands. And that was a huge shot. I just remember hearing the crowd just go silent, and that's always a good feeling on the road. So it's big. I mean, I needed that individually. Obviously, we needed that as a team, and it was good to kind of turn momentum in our favor just a little bit.
How much did that carry over, though, in the OT? Because after that, it was just like your flow was there.
Yeah, I mean, I think once we came out the OT and they got the chip, we was able to get a steal, and I think that helped us as well, being able to not even let them get a shot up, get a steal. We was able to run out. We got good looks the whole OT, and that two threes I made felt good leaving my hands, and so that was a perfect game of just like staying resilient and knowing that there's peaks and valleys to everything.
When you look at just not only getting a win like this, but obviously against Denver, defending champs, no Booker, and what it means, you talked about before, just keep playing and that things will turn. How big is that in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the totality of the season. I mean, obviously the end result is always most important. Playing in the playoffs, trying to win the championship, that stuff is important. But you celebrate little moments when you struggle as a team. Not too many people know what you go through. When you have a 2-3 game slide and you're not playing well, and the long film sessions we go through. So it's a game within the game sometimes, and it's good to challenge ourselves with what we did tonight and come out with a W. So it's good to celebrate these little things and move on, but also know that we have a bigger picture in mind.
Last thing I have is Saban Lee. I saw you jump off the bench on his dunk. Maybe take me through this. Did you think he was going to try to force that?
I'm sure everybody who was watching that game tonight on TV and in the stands jumped out their seat because they were surprised. I mean, we all were. I told them in here, I said, I had no clue what you were about to do. I just looked and say, oh, fuck, he going up against 2 6'9" dudes, and he running kind of he's too cool running to the rim, but he just took off. His athleticism is elite, and that was, like I said, game about momentum, and those plays turned momentum for us. That was huge.
Say threes, I'm thinking.
My first date.
Did you know it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was about to say. What was going? I mean, what had you in that zone?
I mean, just they all felt good leaving my hand. Saw if you go in early. Then kind of got more aggressive with them, with the ones I was taking, and they kept going in.
Obviously, got a transition that helped in terms of keeping the momentum for you during that run.
Transition. Oh, the dunk. Yeah, I think so. And it's nice as a shooter when you kind of get those in between easier buckets too, in between shots. That always helps your rhythm. So getting a steal and getting out on the break was nice. Add to it.
How big was this one, considering how the game went?
It was a huge win. Anytime you come in here shorthanded and then you get into a close game down the stretch where your lungs are probably starting to burn a little bit more than usual, and you're playing against champs, a great team, it's tough. They're a great team at home, so it's tough to close out games here, and that was a big time win, especially with taking it in the OT.
You're looking at Durant that missed his first 5 threes, and then to make that one that forced overtime.
Yeah.
What's that say about him that we probably already know?
I mean, big shot. He's made thousands of those, feels like. And really him and Brad, kind of into the fourth quarter when nobody could score. And then in overtime, kind of took over, hit big shots for us, close out the game.